Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga Section. I'm here to bring you another One Piece discussion video. Now, this discussion video is going to be on something that I can't wait to happen within this series. And now I've been waiting for this way back 15 years ago when I started watching, because I started watching One Piece. And that is simply an arc that heavily involves where we get to see everything that we want to know about the red-haired pirates. Now, I know everybody wants that, and I know people are looking forward to the fights involving these guys, because we know, I know, you know, that these are going to be the good when it comes to the best that One Piece will ever deliver, and I hope this stuff is on screen. It can't be off screen. No. Allow that. It needs to be on screen. But simply the involvement and what they're going to bring to the table, I can't wait for it because I know whatever it is, it's going to be hype. And now, obviously, well, not obviously, can't say obviously, but it's safe to assume, simply based on how big the other Yonko's crews are, that Shanks himself will have a hefty crew. a hefty crew. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes to the strength of the red-haired pirates, it is these Donnies that will be the frontliners. Because obviously when Shanks came to the war, and he was like, yo, guys, if you guys want to continue fighting, we'll be your opponent. You good, teach. Say that. But there is something that I want to point out about these headliners that we see. Not headliners in the sense of the Beast Pirates. I mean that, frontliners for Shanks' crew. There's something I want to point out about these guys. Now, one, we have someone who's kind of off screen, and I didn't notice this like first, second, third, 10th, 100th time seeing it. Only when I wanted to rewatch this scene quickly for this video I'm recording, that we have someone who kind of chopped off, not getting no love. And then another thing, when you go through the bit where it was showing you who would face off against who with Shanks and the Blackbeard Pirates, there's actually one person who's left out of this. Just a quick amendment for this, because I actually did make a mistake. It's not the bit where they show who will be facing off who, if there was going to be a clash between the Shanks, the Red-Haired Pirates and the Blackbeard Pirates. It's actually a bit before that, when they go through each member, well, not all of them, obviously, of the Red-Haired Pirates. This is the bit where he's actually left out, which is a shame. It's because that kind of sidelined him as well, saying, yeah, like, you ain't important. So, the ones that are shown, I think the whole people in this picture, yeah. But the ones are shown, I'm guessing they're the top 8 or top 7 or whatever number it is. So these guys are going to be the best players, the heavy hitters, if you will. And now, I don't know, we have Big Mom's crew, lots of their fruit users, Kaido's crew, hella different fruit users. With Whitebeard's crew, it was kind of mixed. Yeah, I'm gonna say it mixed. I was gonna say it was mixed, but for me personally, I want the red-haired pirates to just be raw, just be straight raw with it. I don't mind if there's some devil fruit users in there, but I want the biggest and the baddest of Shanks' crew to have no devil fruit. Now, in regards to the headliners, the frontliners, I'm going to call them the frontliners for now. The frontliners that have been shown, the ones that are like, yo, stop the war, or you can fight us kind of vibe. I say that 4 of these people at tops should have no devil fruit users, and these 4 would be like the biggest and baddest of the crew. So that's Shanks, obviously. Lucky Roo, Ben Beckman, and Yasa. I would, I would, I was gonna say appreciate it. I'd be more on the side of these four not having devil fruit abilities and just be raw, hard hitting with either weapons. Obviously, we know Shanks uses a sword. We know Yasop is the sniper. We see Lucky, lick someone with a bone. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play. I know he's got a flintlock as well, and obviously Ben Beckman's got a gun. But he likes the gun people with. We know that. I would prefer these guys just kept it raw, no martial arts, just stereotypical pirates in a sense. Because the stereotypical pirate used a sword. If you go back to the pirate era, a stereotypical pirate used a sword and a gun. And these are what these guys are packing. I don't want them to have no martial arts, no suru, no none of that. Just keep it raw. Just keep it raw, keep it clean. Just your weapons, your guns and your sword, and haki. Obviously, Shanks, well, not obviously, but it should be preferably Shanks should be the only one to have Conqueror's haki. But like I said, the four people that I mentioned earlier, I would love them to have the advanced observation haki. Observation haki and advanced armament haki as well. Maybe not to this, maybe definitely not to the same degree that we see that Gold Roger and Whitebeard can tangle with it, but a good level. A good level. If you consider what Goldie Roger does, masterization of it, then a little bit back from that. Maybe where Luffy is at now currently within Wano. So yeah, like I said, for those four, I just like them to be raw, no devil fruit ability, and just hacky up. If we are gonna give them a little boost of something, you can give them a Kempo, fine, for enough, where they can do the Soru and the Skywalk and all that. I don't really mind that too tough, but no devil fruit, that's a big must for me. So I know I kind of lumped them all together in a group. I'm gonna talk about Shanks, Yasop, Lucky Roo, and Ben Beckman, but I kind of want to speak about them more as individuals. So let's break them down. So okay, first off, Shanks. So obviously, I'm expecting Shanks to come with all the types of haki, conquerors, ornament, and observation, and obviously all of these will be in the advanced form. We have seen the advanced observation being future insight, seeing into the future, kind of, and we are now currently seeing the advances of armament in one country. We have not, however, at this present moment in time, we have seen it, or at least hints of it, but we don't know exactly what this advanced conquerors can do. We saw when Shanks came onto Whitebeard's ship and his haki was causing the ships to crack at the seams. We need an explanation for what that was. It's obviously not obviously, but it's hinted to be through Conqueror's haki. So when we get to see Shanks and the rest of the crew in a full blown arc, hopefully, maybe Shanks will provide this explanation for what that exactly that was. So that's for Haki wise, that's what I'm expecting for Shanks. Obviously, we know Shanks is a swordsman, so we will see him fight with a sword. And now, this may sound a bit weird, but I don't want to see Shanks fight another swordsman. I don't really think, well, for me personally, this doesn't bring nothing to the table. And I just rather see him be all powerful, defeating any opponent that he comes across. If it's going to be cannon fodder, so we see him deal with the cannon fodder with ease, or if it's going to be anybody else, we see a great battle from them. Obviously, with Shanks coming out as the victor. If he is to fight another swordsman, it would have to be Mihawk. That's the only other swordsman I see him. That's the only other swordsman I would accept him fighting within One Piece, where I feel like he's bringing something to the table. Because if you see him fight another swordsman, as the story is now, with no other top swordsman, prominent top swordsman stated, within like the series. I did a video on that. There's no need for it. But if he's fighting Mihawk, who is currently number one, then we can see, kind of like what it takes to be number one, kind of, or just how far Shanks is from it anyway. Because we know that they used to be rivals back in the day. Yeah, other than that, I ain't got nothing to say about Shanks. With Ben Beckman now, like obviously we haven't seen the Red Hair Pirates fight really truly, but we do see a little bit of what Ben Beckman can do early on within One Piece, within the Luffy flashback, where he easily deals with these mountain bandits. Now we see him take his gun and gun back all of them. Well, we don't really get to see that, but we get the assumption that he beat them all to a pulp with his gun. And now, at the end of that little bout, he does then point the gun at them and say something on the lines of, "This was too easy. If you want to defeat us, bring a warship." Something along them lines as well. So he does point his gun, and we do see him also point his gun at Kizaru. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes to his fighting prowess, he only uses that gun for close range, for gun bucket. So I can see him doing a lot of that, and maybe just maybe his finishing move, or one of his finishing moves, comes from shooting the gun. And now I'm going to talk about the specifics of his gun later on when I get to Yasop. So when it comes to Haki, I do expect him to be rocking the advanced observation and the advanced ornament, but I think he'll be more prominent in the ornament Haki, and that ties in more of his fighting style of being close range. I think majority of close range. I'm not saying that close range fighters wouldn't benefit from observation, but I think they would benefit more from ornament, which I think he will have. He'll have both, but he'll be more prominent in the ornament. So moving on to Lucky Root first, and then I'll talk about Yasop last. Lucky Root again, he has a flintlock, but for some reason I think he'll be rather than a long range fighter, I think he'll be a close range fighter as well. And I do expect him to be really fast. And the only reason why I think that is because what we get to see of him within the Luffy flashback, where he speed blitzed, that man Ban didn't even see him coming before he took his life. Riff of that me. He's gonna use his bone to fight as well. Trust me. But I reckon Lucky Root will be a close range fighter, and with him firing his gun at close range, so I don't know, he just closes the gap, maybe throwing one or two punches in there, but he'll be like, bow, bow. And I do think there'll be something special about these three people's guns: Lucky Root, Yasop, and Ben Beckman. They may look like normal guns, but I think there's going to be something special about them. When it comes to Haki now, I reckon Lucky Root will be rocking ornament and observation, both advanced obviously, but he'll have them mastered to the same degree. Wherever level he's at with the other, he's as good as with the other one as well. So with Yasop, we know that Yasop is a sniper, so he will obviously, for the most part, not obviously, but this is my assumption, that for the most part he'll be fighting at long range, similar to Usopp. And now the fight that came to mind when I was thinking about this is Usopp versus Luffy. And now we know Usopp had a lot of tricks, well not a lot, a few tricks up his hand when he was fighting Luffy. So I expect Usopp to maybe be capable of the same thing as well. And this got me thinking, we don't know the Red Hair Pirate's journey. So Usopp could have been to a Sky Island, he might have been to he may have been to Fisherman Island as well. We don't know where he's been. So his tech could be similar, on par, or even better than what Usopp rocks. Now before the time skip, Usopp started to incorporate dials that he got from Sky Island and into his mix. currently he's got the pot greens that he works into the mix. How do we not know? How do we know Yasser's not rocking the same thing, even something better? And he's incorporated that into his weapons and into the weapons of his fellow crewmates as well. We know Usopp is capable of this. He made Nami's first and second weapon. He's made a weapon for himself. So how do we not know that Yasop hasn't incorporated what he has learned or what he has stolen, tech-wise, from his journey, incorporated into his weapons and weapons for his crewmates as well? And that goes back to the thing where I was saying about final attacks. For all we know, Lucky Lou and Ben Beckman's gun could be loaded with dials or pot greens, or just some next tech that we haven't even seen yet. And these are what makes their weapons powerful in order to be dealing finishing blows. But back onto Yesop, he could have all of this in his guns, because I reckon you will use multiple guns or just have different trick shots and all that. And so that's another thing that makes him powerful. When it comes to Haki now, I reckon he'll be prominent in observation Haki, advanced version obviously, but he may have the ornament Haki in there as well. I reckon it'll be on an advanced level. He's on Shanks' crew, he's gotta be advanced and everything. So yeah, I reckon you'll have that as well, but he'll be more prominent on the observation. Firstly, I want to say if you made it this far into the video, thank you for sticking out for this long, but I need to make a quick amendment. I realized that I got so wrapped up in the excitement of Shanks and his crew finally making it into the series, just the excitement of thinking about what they could do when they finally make it into the series, that I got too generous when dishing out the levels of Haki that I reckon that Ben Beckman, Yasap, Lucky we will have. And what made me come to this realization is previous division commanders, because at the end of the day, I reckon these three will be the division commanders for the Red Haired Pirates. And now, if we look at other division commanders, mainly I'm looking at Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido. When we look at their third division, second division, and first division commanders, we don't really know what level they're at. In fact, the only one we do really know is Katakuri, where he had the advanced version of observation Haki. So it's for those reasons. My opinion might change if we learn more about what Queen, or if we see more from Queen, Jack, and King in Wano. But for now, I have to dial it down just a little bit. So when it comes to Ben Beckman, he would obviously be able to use both, but he will only probably, if he is going to have one, because Katakuri was shown to only really have one, is the advanced ornament Haki, and he'll be really good at observation Haki. So going to Lucky Roo now, he will have ornament and observation Haki. None of them, no future insight, no Goken, but he'll be really good at both. And with Yasop now, he'll excel at observation Haki, and he'll be not as good at the ornament Haki, but again, not to the advanced level. No Goken, no future insight. However, from hearing about some of the stuff that Yasop can do with his shooting ability, I think there was one, I can't remember where it comes from, but there was something about how he can shoot the legs off of an ant. I wouldn't be surprised if he did have the future insight. But anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna say just be really good at both observation. Observation will be his number one, and then ornament hack will be his number two. With the other guys now, I'm not sure now. The next person I'm going to talk about is the monkey. The monkey perched on this guy's head. And now I've nicknamed him Bubbles. In full real life conversations, I nicknamed him Bubbles. So Bubbles, I'm not saying he's gonna be a heavy hitter, but he's perched up there for a reason. So I reckon he's capable of something, and like I said, he doesn't have to be the top, but I want him to be impressive when it comes down to things. Now, he could be a fight for trophy down the line if we do get the Straw Hats versus the Red Hit Pirates, because we do know that part of Luffy's promise to Shanks is to form a crew that is stronger than his crew. And the only way to kind of prove that, no, it's not the only way, I'm lying to you. One of the ways that you can prove that is to have a straight out fight. One of the basic ways to prove that is to have a straight out fight. So if every Straw Hat member faces off against someone within the Red Head Pirates' crew, then I would like to see a fight between Bubbles and Chopper. And now, you might be thinking, if they do have this fight, it's not going to be really that much because at the end of the day, Bubbles is just a simple monkey. But I joke in real life conversations, so what if Bubbles has a devil fruit ability? And the devil fruit ability that I have given Bubbles in my mind is the gorilla no mi, or I think it would have to be the ape no mi mother gorilla. Now, I don't know if anyone else has this devil fruit ability so far in canon. Pretty sure it's up for grabs. But this would be a good one. This would be an okay ability for Bubbles to have because it would keep him as a monkey, kind of. And it would be able him to grow to I was gonna say it'd be able to him to grow to at least 6 feet, so therefore he could square off against human-sized opponents. But if you look at him facing Chopper specifically, then give him the King Kong no mi bigger monkey, so therefore he can match monster points. I like that. 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 So yeah, that's my hopes for Bubbles. But if we don't get that, at the very minimum, I do see some kind of combination attacks between the guy that he's chilling with, obviously, because they seem very close. I mean, you don't be putting your fingers in just anybody's mouth. Maybe you do. I do see / I do have not high hopes but semi-high hopes for this guy holding the sword. And now he holds his sword in a very interesting way. It is upside down, making me think he's going to have a unique sword style. And now that simply just set my mind straight to Zoro, having him have a fight with Zoro. And now, again, this goes into something I've mentioned previously. It's either number 1 or below. If we had more prominent swordsmen with numbers attached to the name, so the 7th greatest, the 5th greatest, whatever, this guy holding his sword upside down could have been one of these guys, because I see him having a unique fighting style, which would be cool to see. I also don't limit his fight to just Zoro. It could go to Brook as well, because he as well is a swordsman, but it's just usually because we know that Zoro wants to be the top swordsman. So the first thought we think when we see anyone with a sword really is that, oh my gosh, they need to fight Zoro. What else have I got to say? So this guy who was left out of the Blackbeard matchups, I don't know, he seems like kind of race or something, I don't know. But he may have a devil fruit ability. I reckon he's one of the lesser people in the crew, so I would be okay with him having a devil fruit ability. I just want the biggest and baddest to have no devil fruit ability. But yeah. Other than that, I think I am done talking about the Straw Hat Pirates. I don't really care about, say Rockstar. You can stay gone. You can stay gone, but other than that, I don't think I have anything more to say. Before you go, make sure you check out some of the other One Piece videos I've got up for offer. But like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.